all of this detailed, rich history, and it tells the stories of and the data of the transatlantic slave trade. And I found this particular piece a couple years back. Just turn it down a little bit. Come on, there you go. There you go. So I found this piece. It's called the Book of Negros, and it's actually a true story. And it's a true story. But what is interesting about this particular piece, we're going to be watching. It's a six-piece series, and it's really good. You're going to learn about Amanata. Everything in here is true in its nature. Dr. Walker, when I finally showed it to them, to the rest of the team, Dr. Walker was like, this is one of his favorite movies of all time. And it depicts the transatlantic slave trade as it goes through. And it really looks at the idea of Olodai Equiano and this time period. One of the things that I've always enjoyed is trying to learn and grow. What I don't know if I said this last night or not, but when I was in high school, I was not that student. I was a student who would have been sent to the office like several times. Outside of the fact that my dad was the president of the school board, and we had the same name when he signed my diploma, so I did not get sent to the office. They would just call my parents. The principal, if anybody knows, Miss Craig from San Bernardino High School, Dr. Herb Fisher from San Bernardino, then Colton. Those are my people. And instead of me getting in trouble, getting suspension, they would literally call me and just have a conversation with me. And so when I grew up and I started getting into this particular thing and starting to understand primary sources, I had to reteach myself this entire process. And as I taught myself this entire process, I come across this video right here because I didn't understand the transatlantic slave trade. When we get tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Wilberforce. Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow? So tomorrow we're going to be talking about Wilberforce University. And Wilberforce University is named after William Wilberforce. He's a great abolitionist from Parliament back in the 1700s. And the school that I went to is the nation's first historically black college owned and operated by African Americans. Dr. Daniel Payne becomes the first president of a university in the United States, and those are hallowed grounds for me. Frederick Douglass is on our board. W.E.B. Du Bois, after graduating from Fisk University and then going from Fisk to Harvard University, becoming the first African American to serve as the first African American to get his PhD from Harvard. Then he becomes a professor at Wilberforce University. He meets the guy we're going to be going to talk to today, Charles Young. But I wanted to understand the transatlantic slave trade even more. And so I started to dig into maps. I started to have conversations with great historians. You guys saw how good Amanda was last night. Like, she changed her presentation from week to week. I loved it. I was sitting over there learning just like you guys. And so I wanted to understand, why is Wilberforce University, the nation's first historically black college, named after a white British abolitionist? It didn't make any sense to me until I started to dig into his story. And I realized that he was inspired by a group of people who fought to change the world. Some of those people are in this series that we're going to be talking about today. One of my favorites, so you'll hear about, like, you'll see Granville Sharp in there in 1771. He's the first person to win a case. It's called the Somerset case in England, so it's not in the United States. In England, he wins this case that allows there not to be slavery on the grounds in England. Then you're going to hear about the story of a guy who I'm really into, is a guy named Thomas Clarkson. Thomas Clarkson in 1785 becomes a student at the University of Cambridge. As a student at the University of Cambridge, he goes in and a professor asks a simple question: should it be legal for one human being to own another human being against their will? Let's take out race, class, ethnicity, gender. Should it be legal for one human being to own another human being against their will? He does this research, he comes together, puts together all these primary sources. He starts collecting documents, collecting artifacts, talking to people and doing oral interviews, and from there he turns around and wins first prize in this contest. When he wins first prize, they take the book, which is printed in 1785. There's only 100 copies of it. I have one of the 100 copies. That then inspires William Wilberforce to change the world. William Wilberforce fights for the next 20 years, up until 1807, to abolish the transatlantic slave trade, in England, and that's when they start shipping, watching the waters and all those different types of things. So this piece that we're going to watch, and I want you guys to watch it. We're going to watch, a little bit each day as we go through, and we'll put some different pieces on. But I really think that Book of Negros is one of those great movies, and it's not just like a documentary. It's a really good movie and how they tell the story. You guys will really like Aminata Diallo, and we'll go from there. All right? Do you want to say anything? All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on while Amanda gives you guys some instructions.
So again, I'll be passing back two pieces, the headset and the receiver for when we're listening to guides, particularly outside. Again, make sure that they're turned off. And also, if you want, I'll do a quick tutorial. Basically, to turn it on, all you need to do is hold down the center button for like a little over a second, and you'll see the screen flash on. If you're wearing polarized